So at the outset, I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me to share a relevant and much demanded of the times ideological frame. In fact, the ASA might have invited me out of their own merits and assessment, but I have an organic connect for today's program on two fronts. One is with the Ambedkar Students Association. Other one is with University of Hyderabad. The first one, ASA, the first ever women president of an ASA unit in Indian universities, Dr. Ananya, my elder daughter. She served as president of ASA in Pondicherry University. She is a staunch Ambedkarite, fierce, feisty feminist. In fact, she was a victim of discrimination and dictatorial practices of the people in power who receive instructions from RSS and Hindutva rather than upholding the constitutional values. Yeah, while she was pursuing her doctoral degree, being a UGC fellow, she fought on the behalf of victims of discrimination for social justice, fraternity, and equal opportunities for men and women. She fought against weaponization of religion and caste in the universities. But she was rusticated for no fault of her. For being fought for social justice, it was a long struggle, and finally, successfully, she could get her fellowship restored and passed out with PhD. Here, I would like to recollect the words of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Lost rights can never be regained by beggings, appeals, and prayers to the usurpers, but only with the relentless struggle. And I am proud my daughter, Dr. Ananya, proved with lone relentless struggle she could get back her fellowship as well as PhD degree. So why I told is there are stories and there are success stories which can give us inspiration and strength. So presently, she is pursuing her further studies along with her husband, Dr. Rohinton, who was also away University of London, both of them. The second connect I have is with the University of Hyderabad. That is my younger daughter, Abhikya. She successfully completed her master's from Political Science, University of Hyderabad. So that occasion I had visited this university. So while the elder daughter believes in human dignity, irrespective of the place of birth, religion, race, caste, gender, and language, like Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, the younger one, Abhikya, believes in universalism, like Rabindranath Tagore. She believes that every human being on the planet have equal rights, transcending the sovereign nations across the world. So to quench her thirst for knowledge, following the footprints of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, she joined the London School of Economics and Political Science, pursued her master's in human rights successfully. So now she is working in London with an aim to join United Nations to work for the human rights across the globe. So these are the two connects I have with the today's function as well as University of Hyderabad. Okay, before I get into the crux of the subject, that is Dr. Ambedkar's ideology, I would like to share few thoughts on the positivities of the ASA. ASA is a bastion of Ambedkarite consciousness. See, while the political landscape of Indian universities is often categorized into a traditional trifecta of left, right, and center, the Ambedkar Students Association had carved out a distinct identity. It is neither left, nor right, nor center. It has owned its distinct identity. So this movement transcends the party labels, rooting firmly in the transformational Ambedkarism that prioritizes social justice, dismantling the caste hierarchies. About the ASA, the power of the movement of Ambedkar-centric ideology is unique because the students in ASA believe that Dr. Ambedkar is not just a historic icon, but a living blueprint of liberation. Ambedkarism, like Marxism, Leninism, Maoism, is an ideology, but it has its uniqueness. It imbibes the philosophy and revolutions of Gautama Buddha, Sant Kabir Das, Narayana Guru, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Sahu Maharaj, Periyar Ramaswamy, Fatima Sheikh, and the forefathers of ours. So the Ambedkarism means it's an amalgamation of the forefathers' thoughts and action. So whenever we say Ambedkarism, we are not mentioning just Ambedkar, we are talking about all our forefathers whom he followed and revered, and we follow and revere them. So why I brought this Ambedkarism ideology here is, it has an uniqueness that the ASA, which follows and believes. The another feature what I observed on ASA is, the ASA possesses resilience. The resilience of rustication to Rohit Vemula. The resilience against institutional pressure and the fire of struggle against systemic biases and unfair rustications. Rohit remains as a symbol of struggle, but his sacrifice ignited a national consciousness, turning a local student movement into a global conversation on caste discrimination in higher educational institutions. So at this juncture, we all need to pay respects to the mothers of Rohit Vemula and mother of Dr. Payal Tadvi for the relentless fight following the path of Dr. Ambedkar up to the Supreme Court against discrimination in institutions of higher learning in India. So we shall draw inspiration and spirit from these mothers. In fact, I have spoken on this item RSS versus UGC in my speakings, addresses, which is through an YouTube channel called Vijay Calls. So if you can see what the UGC brought the guidelines of equity in higher learning institutions, what is the basis, what is the background for that, how these mothers have fought, and how the Supreme Court rolled out its own judgment basing on the rallies and riots took place in North India, wherein they have slapped the faces of the Prime Minister, burned the effigies of Prime Minister, but they were not called as urban Naxals and they were not called as anti-nationalists. So students in ASA has a unique institutional character because because of their multi-dimensional resistance. They face the RSS agenda. At the same time, they face the systemic exclusion in three fronts. Firstly, in the classroom, on the academic curricula and the academic isolation. Secondly, maintaining solidarity against personal and administrative isolation. Thirdly, articulating powerful intellectual critics of majoritization of the public stages. So the ASA is setting a standard to other organizations because the others may waver on the political tides, but the ASA remained anchored in annihilation of caste that stood as an example to other institutions and other organizations coming from these backward class communities. So now coming to the main address as well as last part of my address, that is what Dr. Ambedkar taught, what Dr. Ambedkar asked us to do. To enlighten on the Dr. Ambedkar's life and mission, time will be a constraint. We cannot set boundaries. But still, I will tell you a few points what he told us to do. Till now, what I spoke is what ASA is doing. But now, I would like to give you a homework, a takeaway from Ambedkarism, what Baba Sahib Ambedkar asked us to do. So while speaking in the Constituent Assembly, Madam also raised that issue. He was saying, on adoption of this constitution, where India is entering into contradictions. The contradictions are, one side there is a political equality. Political equality through universal adult franchise, which gives same value for a vote. So that means one person, one vote, one person, one vote, one value. That gives the political equality. But whereas the social democracy, a way of life, the social democracy on the Trinity principles, liberty, equality and fraternity, is not achieved in India. So, without achieving social equality, the political equality will be of no use. So what he asked us to do is, man, one vote, one value. Unless you use it, use the vote, use the political democracy to achieve the social equality. So takeaway one, I would like to give you homework is, whether all we are using the right to vote really to emancipate ourselves, to uplift our communities, to gain power. As he told, the master key lies in political power. Are we really driving towards achieving the political power, or At least, if not the absolute power, the share in power. Are we selling our vote, right to vote, valuable vote, or using our vote for uplifting ourselves and our community by achieving at least a share in power? So takeaway one is political equality has been granted by the Constitution. We need to achieve social equality, social democracy. Further, the political democracy acts as a tool to achieve an end. It is not an end in itself. It is a tool to achieve an end, that is the social democracy and social equality. This is the thing which you should do after going from this institution, after going to the society, after going to the village, after leading your own independent life. Then the second point, what he taught was like, the poor are made to suffer wants, privations and humiliations, not because it is preordained by the sins committed in previous births, but because of overpowering tyranny and treachery by the people above them. So why he spoke about the poor? Because he was much concerned about the poor. Even in his last days, he was feeling, weeping, continuously thinking. So when his disciple Nanak Chandratu asked him, why are you maintaining silence all these days, thinking, very, very long thinking? Then he said, I thought of doing much to the poorer people who are living in the villages, landless laborers, who are weak, meek and voiceless, but I couldn't do much for them. So the people, the educated, enlightened, has to take up and think that this birth has nothing to do with your previous births and karma. Whatever you do, whatever the path you choose, whatever you want to achieve in life is in your hands, not in the previous birth's deeds. It is not the karma, it is your hard work. It is your actions can make you as a successful individual. So, don't think of these philosophies. Don't get perturbed with these philosophies. Do hard work, try yourself, set goal, take an objective, try to achieve the goal with industry, hard work, your own assessment and your own acquiring knowledge will make you something in life. This you have to do, and you have to enlighten the poor to come up from their poverty. So you have to tell them, it is not because of the karma, it is not because you born in this community. You have a bright future. Don't think that because I am born in this community, I have to live like this, I have to bow like this, I have to obey like this. No, there is nothing like that. You can stand up, you can be erect, you can have self-respect. This enlightenment you have to give to the poorer sections in the villages. That is the takeaway 2. That is the second homework. On March 18th, 1956, when the educated and employed people invited Babasaheb Ambedkar, he was reluctant to attend the program. But with great reluctance, finally he agreed and addressed them. While addressing, almost he gave his last messages. Few important points from his message I would like to express here. The first one is he expressed dissatisfaction. The educated lot have betrayed me, deceived me. The pain which I am facing is because of you. These are the words he uttered in that meeting. Why? Because After becoming something, becoming clerks or peons, you are trying to look for your family and feed your family, and you are not looking back towards the weak and meek people in the society who are reeling under poverty in the villages. I expected a lot from you. So he gave a message to the educated, he gave a message to the students, saying, don't settle with jobs like peon or clerk or something like that. Take the responsibility of the society. Shoulder the responsibility of the society. You being educated, you being enlightened, you have to take the responsibility of your fellow men and women and try to bring them up, try to alleviate them from poverty. So not only become something in life, achieve something in life for yourself, but at the same time, you have to shoulder the responsibility of societal upliftment. That is one. So this is takeaway 3. Then the next point what he stressed upon is give back to the society. He advocated for at least 1/5 of your time, talent and treasure. Time, because you are enlightened, educated, aware people. So you have knowledge. You disseminate the knowledge. You spread the knowledge. Bring awareness among the people. So for that, use your time. Use your talent. And from your earnings to uplift the poor. At least 1/5 of your earnings. Time, talent and treasure. 3 T's. Give back to the society. Because others may not have such a social obligation. The rich people, the so-called upper caste people, Trivarnas, they may not have such social obligation. But we, being coming from the backward communities, downtrodden communities, oppressed, suppressed communities, we have an obligation to look back and give back to the society to uplift them, because you have become a beacon for them. You have become a light for them. So that is the second and the 4th takeaway. I'm giving it to you. Then another important message, not only there to his disciple Nanak Chandratu, while he was talking to him, what he said, whatever I have done is became possible only after passing through crushing miseries and endless troubles. All my life, I was fighting with my opponents, but at the same time, I was also fighting with a handful of my own people who deceived me for their selfish interests, selfish ends. With a great difficulty, I have brought this caravan where it is seen today. Let the caravan march on, despite the hurdles, what way come in its way. But I am telling my lieutenants, if my lieutenants are able to take the caravan forward, please do it. If you are unable to take it forward, leave where it is today. Under no circumstances, you should not allow the caravan to go back. So this is the thought for the mind. So this is the thought of the day. This is the thought of our vision. This is the thought of our way forward. Are we really allowing the caravan to stay where it is, or we really carrying it forward? We have to make an assessment. So this is the big takeaway. Being educated. See, there are so many taglines for every advertisement. There is a tagline for Raymond advertisement. What is the Raymond tagline? Okay, the complete man. Okay, generally the language historically, all expressions, proverbs, language is man biased, men biased. We are correcting now with replacing the man as a person everywhere. Okay, when you enter into a university, you have several aspirations, several expectations, and you haven't seen the real world. But after coming to the university, spending few years here, and passing out from this place, you will become a complete person. Why I am saying this? Because in a place like Central University, you can see a mini India. So you can come across several people coming from different strata of the society, different communities, different castes, different religions, different economic status people. So that means what? You get enlightened, you get experience, you get knowledge on the social structure, fabric of this nation, while academically equipping yourself with knowledge and degree, you can also get an exposure to the world and the society. So while going out, while passing out, you will become a complete person. So after becoming a complete person, what you are going to do after going out? This is the question. What you need to do is, being an Ambedkarite, believing in Ambedkarism, being a Ambedkar Student Association's member, not only your personal achievement, personal settlement in life, but also you have an obligation to carry the caravan of Dr. Ambedkar. So this is the aim with which you should go out and proceed in life. I am telling, for myself, I started carrying the caravan right from entering into the civil service. I don't want to boost or talk about the self, but try to carry the caravan of Dr. Ambedkar. Even after quitting the service, as my while introducing, he told, launched the Liberation Congress Party purely on the philosophy of Dr. Ambedkar, the thought process and the revolutions brought by the forefathers and their philosophies. This Liberation Congress Party aim is to get power for the majority people who are SC, ST, OBC, minority, and being in poverty. So the final message, the final takeaway I would like to tell you is the unity. That's what Ambedkar taught several times, several stages, several meetings, several addresses. Why? Because we are prone to disunity. We are prone to dismantling. We are prone for dispersing. There are two things here. Sacrifice requires to be united. So try to develop sacrificing mind. Leave the internal rifts. Try to be united. United is strength. So that strength, with that strength only, we can achieve anything in the university or any other place. And the second thing, Dr. Ambedkar could have lived more number of years, but for the Hindu Code Bill. So he suffered at the cost of his health. He prepared the Hindu Code Bill because he believed in 50% share for the women, and he wanted the women should be given its place. So you being Ambedkarites, you have to give the share to the women. You have to develop and give leadership to the women, equal share in all fronts to the women. You have to show it to the public as well as the institutions as you are practicing the gender equality in Ambedkar Students Association. So finally, stay united, be blessed, achieve more laurels, set a goal for yourself, become something successful person in life. At the same time, try to carry the caravan of Dr. Ambedkar, which he brought to this stage. సో భారతదేశంలో 5 వంతులు గల కోటాను కోట్ల స్పృశ్యుల్ని సంఘటితపరిచి వారిలో రాజకీయ చైతన్యాన్ని రగిల్చి మట్టి బొమ్మలను మహారణానికి నడిపించినట్లుగా ఈ కోటాను కోట్ల స్పృశ్య ప్రజానీకాన్ని పరిపూర్ణ దాస్య విముక్తి పోరాటంపై నడిపించి వారిని భావి భారత పౌరులుగా, న్యాయ నిర్ణేతలుగా, చట్ట నిర్మాతలుగా, దేశ పరిపాలకులుగా చేసి ప్రపంచంలో ఏ వ్యక్తి సాధించలేని ఘన విజయాన్ని సాధించినటువంటి స్త్రీదాస్య విమోచకుడు, రాజకీయ దురంధరుడు, బహుముఖ ప్రజ్ఞాశాలి, విశ్వవిఖ్యాతిగాంచిన బాబాసాహెబ్ భీమారావు రామ్జీ అంబేద్కర్కు నా నమస్సుమాంజలి అర్పిస్తూ సెలవు తీసుకుంటాను.